Hello and welcome to the community. Inking CROM episode number 6. I'm just sending a little boosty signal out to Instagram and YouTube. We'll get into some administration and then gritty, splashy graphite wash inking. All right, here we go. All right. I will be returning to these and talking about them in just a minute. I just want to do an update on CROM, the Barbarian anthology number 2. All right. So got some big news. The official count is 25 submissions for CROM anthology number 2. I'm super excited about this. And I'm also overwhelmed in the best way possible. The sheer volume of talent that the submissions came through on have just been absolutely the best. And is really going to help grow the world of CROM. And I can't thank everybody who has submitted, to the deepest part of my heart, Thank you so very much. So since last we spoke, it's official. I am shifting to a 100-page count. That means we're going to find a sweet spot at that 100 pages. I was previously saying something around 200 pages, but I'm going to be following in the footsteps of Jamie Barrows, the project lead for Brutal Blade of CROM. And splitting them up to 2 to maybe 3 anthologies. So pretty excited about taking that on. It's also going to give a more affordable accessibility. So the book will probably come in around, if not under, $25 for the 100 pages, black and white magazine size. Sword and sorcery goodness. Let me just flip to something here. I just want to see something there. Oh, here we go. There we go. Just looking for the pencils for Jamie Barrows, which we will be looking at more deeply today in the inking. And it's just also going to create an easier production for curating the book. And the curation process that I'm using is what I call the manga style Tokeban approach, which is, like the shonen jump model where, every issue has episode, something episodic in a storyline, and then it ends up being collected in a Tokeban. And the other thing too in my curating is the experience of talent. I really want a broad range because I really want to give people who haven't been published or really just reaching out to try to find, where they fit in comics, a place to see their work in print. So for that. And then I have been talking about all the collaborations that I have going on. So I've got 10 collaborations, which I have whittled down to 7. And I have 3 of them officially completed. I'm working on the one right now with Jamie Barrows. So I'll have a couple more moving forward. So, of course, once I get my work completed, then we'll be in the phase for publishing. So going from there. But also, too, cromthebarbarian.com is where you can get really good live updates. And I'm going to be on at least once a week, if not twice a week, giving updates on how things are coming along. And obviously, the inking CROM is going to be my part of the show from there. But other than that, like I said, I cannot thank the response and the support. And there's Charlie from Saboteur Comics. So I just can't believe it, and I'm really super excited. So I'm gonna get a little fun. So last week, this is part two. So last week, I showed off, making these really wild brush water soluble ink. I even you can see here this Tombow black marker. Here it is, which is water based. You can see how it stains. It starts bleeding and staining. I love that effect. So we'll be doing a lot more of that. Then I also, for the first time, started doing some spray cans. And this is when I was hitting with black, and then I believe I hit it over here with some white. I'm seeing, this down here, this panel's done, literally. All I have to do is square it out. So let's look at, I'll show you the panel. So, I think I'll have to add some hands, because there's this, splush, splash, kaboom, bam, like there. But it's it's pretty much there. So I'll put a little outline just to indicate the hands here, and then border it off. But this is what the effect really does immediately. There's just areas where it's done. There's nothing that I'm going to critique or try to push anymore, because I'm really now super excited to see what the effect in print quality comes through. And so that's page 2. And then we got page 3. And you can see this one I went a little lighter on. Probably going to put in a lot of heavy inking is what I was thinking. So just page 3 kind of bring back some nice hatching and mark making, anchoring some black. These will be framed out and stuff. And of course, we got all these speed lines for this power drive. You got the smash in the head, close up of the thing. This was another thing that happens with the using the graphite wash, is that you can see, or the pens, the Molotov pens that I got stuck with the blue ones. But you can see these teeth are great. I love the grid in this character's face. So super excited to get into this, and it is getting me really anxious to get the inking. But I have 11 pages I want to give this effect. I'm going to do 4 more pages today, and then I'm going to look forward to like Monday or Tuesday getting the last 4. Definitely in this space, and going from there. But this, I love linoleum cut. I love woodblock cut. I love the effect. This just mess. This is just, I love it. One of the things, though, I have realized, this is sort of like the part of the process, is that I will be using a lot of white paint markers, and especially. I got all these Artistra. This was in a set. These are going to be fun, kind of use to bring back. But the brush, the acrylic ink brush, best definitely bringing in for like hair and the such and stuff. So that's already starting to inform me. But a lot of this is to give me that mid-range gray value. And this, like I said, the first time I've ever done the spray cans, and man, it was good. It was a little extra, like, because I use this magic erase here. It's just a piece of like rubber, and you just basically pull up in these like big black boogers, it was a double sawing effect. So pretty cool. Last week I did get out to page 5. So page 5, I'm feeling pretty good about. Another thing I wanted to bring up. Really cool effect that happened. I'd come in and I had made just this line really at the end, as well as on the dragon. This line on here brought it in there, but the effect on the helmet, I just love that. You know, it's blurry. You know, it's kind of working with the gray wash, graphite. So it's informing a lot to me. What else needs to happen and stuff. So I love those kinds of moves, as one of my instructors in college used to refer to, was like a game of chess. Like, what's your next move, son? So yeah, so this is page 5. Like I said, pretty happy with it. So I'm just going to bust out. Ooh, I do have to jump out just 1 second and check on something. I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. I got to check. I ordered yesterday some more of the Winsor Newton liquid mask. I thought they said it was going to get here in the morning. I'm scared that no, it hasn't. It's out. It's not even out for delivery. So I will not be seeing that today. All right. I just wanted to conclude that. But good morning, everybody. Hopefully I should make it with the 4 pages. Actually, probably only going to do 3 pages. So yeah, I'll definitely make it. And then I got a fresh bottle coming hopefully tonight or tomorrow. So I should be good and ready for the next thing. So page 6. After graphite wash while wet, mask with, oh yeah, this is going to have a lot of white hits on it. I'm just thinking, yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. That's what I'll do then. Let's get the setup here. I got pretty much everything here. As I said, prepping the brush with this is just regular dish soap. I just have it in this prescription bottle here. And I just twirl it into the brushes, really like cram it into the brush. So the obvious being it doesn't dry the brush out. All right, because that's what I have to do on these 3 pages before I get into before I get into doing the graphite wash. Just wanted to okay. So a lot of this is going to be. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now this down here is going to be pretty dark. I'll probably even hit it with some black spray paint, kind of like on either side. Yeah, I have to keep the windows open for ventilation reasons, or I'll be incapacitated. But I figure also it's such a nice day. We all want to hear the birds are chirping. All right, let me put this. Okay, feel good. Yep. All right. So that is page 6. And we got page 7. Try to remember that. That's right. Head. I saw a guy on YouTube using liquid masking for an acrylic painting, and man, he had the entire foreground and character masked out with this stuff, and then did this really cool acrylic washy, like brushy sky, and like blues and purples, and of course then pre-recorded and edited, it came out like wow. And it always reminds me of like how it kind of saves you from having to be kind of like precious, like working around that. You can just splash shit around and you'll be okay. You got it all covered. I do add dish soap, Charlie. That is a secret. They don't tell you that unless you learn from a master. Because when I started getting back into using liquid masking, I totally forgot. I started working, and I'm like, oh, this is not fun. My brush is already dry. I'm not getting the brushy effect I was looking for. So I did a quick Google search, and I was like, oh, that's right. You gotta use the dish soap. Luckily, we got dish soap in the house. All right. Okay. Looking good. This is going to be very splashy. Okay, keep going. And then page 8. That's right. I'm going to do 4 pages today. And here you added the black to these areas. You get that effect. See another foot. If you get too attached to some of the effects, and you've already gone through this process, you've pretty much missed it. Yeah, definitely give it. It makes life a lot easier. Liquid masking. Okay. There's a lot going down here. So any of these drips are easy to pick up. Not too worried about making a mess. Like this one here. Boop! It's like a booger. Just rolls right up in your fingers. Okay. Yeah, I'm like right at the bottom of this little jar. No, last week I said I was going to order it right after it was done. And I didn't. Okay. All right. Take one more look. Oh, yeah. 1 and 2. Happens there. Kind of cool. See the effect. I was playing around with the idea of maybe one of these guys getting the effect, but I don't want to overuse that. All right. Just look at this real quickly in depth. Make sure I'm not missing anything. And of course, the black border. I've been playing around with the white border, black border around the pages just for an effect, just to kind of keep out the what I'm going for is that cosmic. You know, they're like in a not a physical world per se. They're obviously within the confines of a wizard, messing around with them. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Just, yeah. Okay. All right. Let me put that one there. Before I put away, make sure. Booger. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. All right. Over here. And here's page 5. Okay. All right. Clean this brush out and then get to the smackdown. Yeah, there's probably like a page or 2 left in this. It's all right. We got a bottle coming. So no worries there. All right. I'll bust out cans of Liquid Tex spray cans. I'm going to get some more black. Some scented gray. I got my bucket here with my big thick stick of graphite. Sorry if that is annoying. Then I got my brush and water. All right. Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay. So this is my dirty water, just a cup here, and I never cleaned it out, so it's constantly always dirty. So I don't have to really add anything to it. And then when I do add water to the sandpaper with the graphite, it's just extra. Go. Cool. I got to get my drying station up. Okay. Lay that down. All right, page 6. Where are you at? 6. Page 6. Number 6, and then I'm going to be hitting this with white spray cans. Get my mask. Here's my mask. Remember, kids, mask up. Keep the windows ventilated. I got a nice crosswind. I got the back of my house window open and just completely across down the hall into my studio. Goes out the front window, so I will be safe. And then I'll probably even hit with some of this over here in black spray paint. Just get these off. Sorry. I think I'm going to need that. Okay. Might even bring out a little bit of black ink too. Some speedball. Just for giggles. Don't be so stingy. Because one of the things, let me see, here's the pages right here. This page. I think this was a combination of the ink with the graphite wash, and I kind of like that. And of course, then there was a couple of sprayed areas, overspray that got down into here and that stuff. So I'm going to see that again. See if I can make that happen again. We'll just keep that there. All right, there we go. And all this talking I'm doing is to fill the silence. But I really do my best to not overthink this process. I also try to not create anything too predictable, because anytime I do, I definitely end up disappointed. It doesn't meet, and this is all about. Let me move this a little better angle. Is to give me the some surprise. I just want some surprise, and then have to deal with it. Black and white wise, with the gray values. All right, here we go. I like that. Definitely gonna put more water. Go, and now I'm going to watering this down. That looks good. Oop, we got to water that. Dirty old t-shirt. Like that. Okay. Cool with that. Now I give you mask on. Look at all that like splattering. Oh man, that's so good. That is so good. I'm not even touching anymore. See? All that work just for what? Not even a second. There you go. I have to let that dry. No getting around that. That is pretty darn thick in there. That's nice. That is really nice. That effect is going to be really cosmic. Sorry if you can't hear me. Got to keep my mask on. Health reasons. I got to let this dry. So once again, this is page, this one, no, wait a second, where am I here? Wow, how did that page get, what page is that? That's page, yeah, that's page 5, 6, right. So you can see, and there's enough there information-wise indicating what to bring back and enhance. Not bad, huh? Cool, cool, cool. Also, if you're interested, I've got a 4-part series. You do how to draw with paint markers, and you're able to see adult content. you'll be able to see this series. You can also get to it directly through CROM Anthology. So, excuse me, CROMthebarbarian.com. But you get the kind of colored version and the approaching things. And these two things are starting to jive together. I also don't want to drag it out, but I did get the 17 by 22 archival printout from my friend Matt Stawicki. I hung out with him last Tuesday, Tuesday before. So that'll be the last thing that I end up doing is painting this cover. I know that a lot of people have given me great comments on this is a cover, and I thank you for it, but it's just the beginning. So this is going to be really rock and roll. And I think that's good. Throw this in the dryer. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Nice breeze. Woohoo. All right. I'm going to get this wiped down a little bit. Need that much extra texturing effects. Okay. All right. Now page 7. Yeah, 7. I think one of the things I'm going to do is something a little similar to what I did on the top here, which was kind of splattering once this is all washed. Because, you know, you got this cosmic floating around business. So just taking a last gander at it. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. A whirl. Yeah, the thinking with this, as a matter of fact, I'm not gonna. I'm spraying it down with just water out of a old Windex, and then wow, some really wild things going on here. All right, I'm gonna keep the mask on because I think I'm gonna shoot it a couple times, but I'm not gonna use any of the graphite. I really want to go organic. So it looks dark, but when it dries, it's going to be super light because it's just dirty water. I think I'm going to grab up some of this stuff. Use the big guy here. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I might not do anything else. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. Maybe just a little bit of black and white spray. Start off with some that. I'm literally shooting this. Yeah, I'm not doing anything more with it. That is it. Wow, what an effect. That is going to be so wild. Wow. All right, just got to give that a minute or two to dry. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. All right. All right. Oh boy. So on Turbo Pit Fighter a couple weeks ago, I was talking about this really sweet 80s or 90s, I think it's 1990s find. I finally tracked down the decent copy, a really good copy. Man, wish I had this like 4 years ago. But for some reason, I have been thinking, I have these two next to me all the time. So I got some Ken Landgraf. Kind of look at that. It's like, what would happen if you combine these two techniques? I mean, so some things happen in the head there. In the noodle. All right, let's get this over to the drying station. And then last one for the day. Oh. All right, page 8. Just wipe this down. Okay. All right. And then this one's a pretty stock standard. I think this is just going to be gouache and probably a little more of the down here. I want to get a similar effect, probably even with the black wash ink. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, because this is some dirty water. Okay. Then same kind of thing. These out now. There we go. Of course. And then throw in. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's see what happens there. I don't think I'm doing anything again. Just take a minute here. You can see the bleeding on that dragon's wing. Pretty cool here, like this a lot. And it's really working nicely here. Okay. Oh my gosh, shadow. Yeah, I'm going to stay with that and let it dry a little bit, but that's all I got in me today. So that is page. Yeah, that's this page here, page 8. So I got 9, 10, and 11. So I got 3 more pages, which, like I said, probably get back here on Monday to wash them out. But you can already see the excitement that I'm going to have in inking, bringing back some of Jamie's amazing line work. And like I've said before, I really love his approach in shadowing. I just really want to highlight that. This one's going to be really fun and really nice splash page. This one too, especially if we see there. But I'm just going to go ahead and say good day to everybody. Thank you for joining me, everybody that stopped by. If you're on the replay and you're watching, thanks for making it this far. This is the CROM mock-up number 2, still available. You can purchase it as long as CROM 2 is not officially released. So we've got 12 of these in the wild. Thank you for that support. 256 pages. It actually jumped to about 275 with some late submissions, and actually, to be honest with you, 2 submissions that got lost on my side of the shuffle of things. So really excited to be working forward. Like I said, following in the footsteps of what Jamie Barrows has been leading with the amazing crew over at CROM, Brutal Blade of CROM. Of course, if you don't have copies, 3 copies, the first 3, number 4 and 5, I saw in the Instagram group, are slated, I believe, for August is when things are going to be due, which might be around the same time that CROM Anthology 2 comes out. So the month of August might be the month of CROM, which just so happens to be my birthday. Of course, Blood Maidens, number 2. I've got a 14-pager in here. I'm also I'm side by side with Alan Robinson, who is one of my favorites going on right now in indie comics. His Don't Fuck with Tori. I love that comic. And now we've got Nalita in the Lost Jungle. His work is just leveling up every time he's finishing a page and putting out a book. So if you'll find some time and support for both of us, this is Blood Maidens number 2. Number 3 is on its way at the beginning of June, and number 1 is also out. I do have a couple copies of Brutal Blade of CROM, Blood Maidens as well on there. Of course, there's some amazing stuff going on here. Jamie Barrows again. So, CROM the Barbarian, CROMthebarbarian.com is where you can keep up to date, and it's something else that I'm going to do my best to help everybody stay up to date. Going live on YouTube at least once a week, if not twice. 2 is the following on Instagram. But 3, the most important place, if you really want to stay connected with what's going on with CROM, is get on the CROM the Barbarian mailing list newsletter. I'm going to be putting one out tomorrow. Tomorrow will become flying out, so you'll have links and really things going there. And you can also obviously respond to me with any questions. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them down there. But guys, thank you for your support. I will see you either Monday or Tuesday to put the last 3 pages into the graphite washi grinder. So thanks again. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.